Hey there you guys, welcome back. Today is the day we're going to tour the backyard. The backyard's been growing fantastic. I don't even know, I don't know what to say. It's been different. We had a really bad winter last winter. So there's been some dieback, some things have changed. I've changed my mind on a few things, so we're gonna do some overhauling this year. But yeah, come along. We'll look at it. We'll discuss it, and give me some of your input. Maybe you see something that you think would be better. Let me know, and maybe you'll see those changes happen. Anyway, behind me is my tree peony. Again, same old thing. It produces buds, but the buds never open. The buds stay small, and they never really produce anything. I think it's because of the high nitrogen lawn fertilizer. But unfortunately, as you know, my yard is a postage stamp. So if I fertilize the lawn, the tree peony is going to get that high nitrogen fertilizer. So as much as I love the plant, I might not be able to keep it here. It grows beautifully. I don't know. I like it. It's getting a little out of control, though. You'll see it. Anyway, without further ado, let's go take a walk through the backyard. So here we'll start. We're just going to pan around the backyard. There's the patio set. And here we go. That is the backyard. It's so little. So first off, let's deal with this container right here. This is one of the plumerias that was growing at the side of the house. This year I decided to bring one of them up here and try growing in the container and see how that works. I've got all kinds of petunias growing in the pot with it, as well as some oxalis. So we're going to do some more pansy updates. Petunia updates. There's been a lot of questions regarding petunias, so I will answer them this season. And yeah, be prepared for more updates on those. Hopefully this plumeria blooms. This one did not bloom last year, but I'm very hopeful for this year. I think it would be stunning to have the lovely fragrance of these flowers while we're sitting here in the evening. I think that would be so beautiful. So let's start here. We will have another update on this guy. This is the hibiscus. Remember I kept saying I was going to throw it away. Anyway, did not throw it away. I ended up cutting it to the ground, saying if it died, it died. Anyway, it grew beautifully downstairs. It actually had some flower buds on it. And then I brought it outside. Just tossed it outside. It got some cold temperatures and it got some hot sun. It's just burned like crazy, so I'll show you what I'm going to do with that. Just a lot of pruning, and it will come back. There's already all kinds of new growth starting here, down far. All of these branches will likely get chopped down. They're just unsightly. So, but anyway, stay tuned for updates on hibiscus. Also, here's the 2 bananas that I ended up keeping in the container here. The other ones I gave away. And got some really pretty petunias. Did I get that right? Yes, I said petunias this time and not pansies. I really fell in love with these colors, especially this one. I thought it was really interesting how it was just a splash of purple in the center rather than defined markings. I thought that was really cool. And again, there's some oxalis, some purple oxalis that's going to grow here. Yeah, so let's move along. We've got a bunch of things growing in pots. Here's the Blatilla orchid, Blatilia or Blatilla striata. It will find its way into the garden soon. We've got the Amorphophallus konjac that's growing right in here. It's just now starting to, if I get my shadow out of the way, it's just starting to pop through. We've got the seedlings of the water lotuses doing what they do. It's been cool at night, so I haven't been bringing them inside. They've been looking like they're going into shock, but hopefully the warmer temperatures will bring them back. Here is the date palm that we started growing a few years ago. It's still alive. There's one beside it, not looking as good. So let's get into the garden now. Here is a lovely columbine that just recently started coming into flower. These flowers are so beautiful. One of my favorite flowers. I guess my shadow was a lot nicer there because it didn't wash it out. Just absolutely beautiful flowers. They self-seed like crazy, but they're still beautiful. There's a nice pansy back in there. I had a lot of pansies self-seed this year. Here's one of the anemones that we planted as bulbs. And again, here's the tree peony. It's getting huge. I'll show you the buds, what they look like. Perhaps. There's one right there. As you can see, it's not very big at all. By now, they should be gigantic. This did flower the first couple of years that I had it. Much bigger garden back then. There's another bud here. And it was quite large. The flower was about 10 inches across. So if I'm expecting a flower that big, the buds are going to be, I don't know, huge. So we've got the red banana here. This year I think I'm going to do another propagation project. I want to create all kinds of babies again, but we'll see. This is the first year I've grown this in the ground, so I anticipate seeing a much nicer plant. Last year it was grown in a pot, and I found that it was stretching. It wasn't really doing a very good job. It wasn't red like it should be. It was more green, as you can see, but I think being in the ground it will do far better. We've got a bunch of clematis that are full of buds, absolutely full. So they're going to be opening soon. I have two different varieties in here. There's a Jack Manny variety, and there's another one that's like a reddish purple, and that's a later flower. So we're going to have the Jack Manny first, and then after that we're going to have the reddish flowers. I originally planted 3 clematis in these groups, but most of them, the third one didn't make it. I also have down at the base there, we've got the excuse me, allergies are starting to get here. Black-eyed Susan vines. I've got the yellow one and the orange one. They're going to be growing. Sorry for the camera work, I'm trying to step out of the garden. Those are going to be growing up the clematis so that there will be constant color. I've got 2 miniature rose bushes. This is the red one with the splashes of white, and this one I do believe is a pink one. This pink one has survived the winter here for a few years, so I'm not worried about that one. This one here is still new, so we'll see how it goes. Again, another anemone. Looking nice, really coming along well. Oop, sorry for the quick camera jerk. We've got Tradescantia spiderwort. It's getting shaded out crazy like by the tree peony, but that's all right. I've got an allium. This is new this season. I really like alliums. I really like this variety of allium. I like the blue flowered variety or the purple flowered better than the white, but I like these the short wide leaves on these ones. This was only $3.99, so already grown. So I thought I'd better pick that up. I really enjoy it. Got some daylilies here. This one's called Pandora's Box. And then I've got some gazanias. Gazanias are absolutely beautiful if you have a sunny location. The flowers only open in the sun. If they're in a shady spot, they'll never open, so don't even bother trying. I love these orange ones. I think they're one of my favorites. But they're all beautiful. If you grow them in a group, stunning. Here's a hardy geranium, a crane's bill. I think this one is actually called Bevins, which is my last name. So that's kind of cool. It's a cute little. It's a petite variety. It doesn't really get any bigger than this. It spreads out quite a bit, but height-wise, it stays about 8 to 10 inches tall, and it stays very compact. And it seems to be self-seeding all over the place, which is nice. I'm going to give some of these away to neighbors and friends. We've got back here a Liatris, or Liatris, Blazing Star. That I think is a white variety, so I'm excited to see that. The bunnies had a field day with it in the beginning, but now it seems to be holding its own, thank goodness. We've got some Senettis. I've got a couple of these hanging out through the garden. I think I'm going to cut them down, take off all their flower spikes, and see if they don't flower again. They're looking a little bit rude. So we got the boxwood. Boxwoods are looking really nice this year. Got one on the other side here as well. They just hold their shape really well. I am very pleased with them. I'm going to give them a light trimming midsummer and see how they do. I've got some daffodils. There's some right here, and there's some right here behind the Japanese maple. Pretty soon that foliage is going to die off, so it won't look so rude. Got another Senetti right there, and I've got some more anemones there, a little hosta right here, and I've got some, I think these are Asiatic lilies. They're called lollipop. They're a dwarf variety of lily. And then underneath them I have gentiane. This is a beautiful flower for those of you who like blue flowers. It's a very, very intricate blue flower. Sorry, I just knocked the camera. So I've got this Japanese maple, just like the one in the front. Actually, this one came back even worse than the one in the front. The whole top of this tree has seemed to have died, as you can see. So I'm gonna chop it right down to where it joins, because there's no life. It makes me very, very sad. This was such a beautiful tree, and it was just starting to get to a nice size. Let me back right up here. Just starting to get to a nice size on the fence, and now it feels like we're starting from scratch. All right. So now this is one of my favorite perennials. Unfortunately, it's one of my favorite perennials, but it's a very invasive weed perennial. This is a perennial bachelor button. I don't know, I can't remember the Latin name for it, but it usually comes in blue or purple, but this one is beautiful purple and white. I love that contrast. This is a, oh my goodness, evening primrose. The Latin name starts with an O. I can't remember, but this one has absolutely huge, very vibrant, almost neon yellow flowers. Absolutely beautiful. This is finally starting to come into its own. When I first bought it, it was a little bit straggly, and it wasn't really putting on much of a show, except for when it bloomed. But now, as you can see, it's turned into a beautiful little bush, and I hope that that translates into a lot of flowers. Stay tuned for this one. I can't wait to show you when it actually does flower. Like I said, the flowers are very, very large. They're probably 4 inches across, and a really electric yellow. Here is a, I really wanted to show you this one, a trillium, a nice red trillium. This one has just recently flowered. This is the first year for the flower for me, so I was very, very happy to see it. I was hoping to get to this video before it actually died, withered up. But it's planted right underneath the boxwood. It didn't used to be right underneath the boxwood, but it is now. It seems to be growing like crazy. I guess just behind the bachelor button we have the toad lily. I don't know if you can see it for the shadows. This gets quite tall. I'll have to move this out. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but it requires a partly shaded location. But it gets to be about 4 feet tall, so I don't really want it behind the Japanese maple anymore. So we'll figure things out. And then this one here, I can't remember what this is called, but it's got a really pretty orange and brown daisy-like flower. Really, really pretty. It gets to be about 4 or 5 feet tall as well. And now we're getting over to the shady side of the garden. We've got more hostas here, or sorry, hostas, yes, down below. Clematis up top. Looking fantastic. Again, lots of buds. The vines are growing fantastic this year. I can't ask for any more. We also have the black-eyed Susans down below, an orange one and a yellow one. They're gonna climb up the plant there and add a lot of color during the summer. We've got the Thailand giant growing right there, as you know him. We got the Empress Wu hosta. Stay tuned for this one. I really want to update you on how this actually grows. There's a lot of talk out there that this is the biggest hosta so far. Gets a spread of about 6 to 9 feet and height of about 5 feet, 4 to 5 feet. The leaves are supposedly massive. So this year it has grown. It's probably twice as big as it was last year. And from 2 growth points, it now has, I think, 5 or 6 growth points. So it's growing and dividing really, really well. Another one that I really like is this Fire and Ice, or Fire Island. I can't remember which one it's called, but it's got this beautiful limey foliage. and it's got the I don't know that you can see it, but the really red stems. Kind of reminds me of rhubarb, the stems. I've got all kinds of hostas here, and the epimedium. Epimedium's getting absolutely gigantic. I'll have to chop him back because under the epimedium there is a hosta, and I also planted a hepatica right here, a native wildflower. But this hepatica doesn't have any sun anymore because the epimedium is growing so big. Also, here is wild ginger. I love the wild ginger because it has this beautiful glossy leaf, or not a wild ginger, I'm sorry, a European ginger. And it's growing right up underneath this boxwood as well. Is there any flowers? We've got some buds here. They have a really interesting brown flower. Pretty insignificant, but still really interesting nonetheless. Okay, let's come around here. Again, lots of hostas. Hostas, hostas, hostas. This is a Siberian iris. Love it, but it probably should find another home. It's a little too shady, and the hostas are really taking over. And yeah, I don't know. I'll find a neighbor that can babysit it for a while, and then when I have a bigger space, I can bring it back, or at least a piece of it. And got this beautiful little mouse ears hosta. I saw this year that there's a variegated form of mouse ears, so I think I want to buy the variegated form to put it with this this blue form, because I really love this one, and I think it would just set it off to have another clump beside it that's a variegated. But it's a beautiful plant. And I've got this other trillium growing in amongst this hosta. These hostas just got gigantic this year. For the most of them, it's between 3 and 4 years, so I think that's why they're really taking hold now. But as you can see, this one has a yellow flower, which is really neat. I think that there was two growth points. Yep, there's another one right in there. And this hosta here is August Moon. It's one of my favorite hostas. I used to grow this one. I went away to school and then I came back to see it at my father's house, and it had grown so big, and it had nice puckered leaves, and it had the yellow kind of tinge to it with a little bit of a brown tint to it as well within the puckers, and it just looks stunning. So I wanted to continue with that and try it out again. And again, another hosta. I have no idea what this hosta is, but it's cute. I like it. It's gotten really big. There used to be a hydrangea here, but unfortunately there was no space for the hydrangea, and it kept killing the grass. Looks like the hosta is going to do the same thing, so we'll have to figure something out. So yeah, I got rid of the hydrangea, and you'd never even know that it wasn't there. So it took up so much space. And then here we've got the boxwood bonsai. Stay tuned for more updates. I keep telling you that, but I need to take the wire off of this, and we also need to give it a little bit of a trim. Looks like we've got some issue with boxwood psyllid, so I don't know what I'll do to resolve that. Usually with psyllid, you just deal with it. It doesn't hurt the plant, it just is unsightly. Little bugs are in there, and they make a little home. They fold these leaves up and just make it unsightly. I'm sure I could just use a regular pesticide or something, but I don't know that I want to use a pesticide on it. So anyway, I guess the last thing will be the hanging baskets, which you were around while we planted them, well, at least one of them. Let's go check them out. As you can see, they're really getting bushy. These calibrachoas are really looking nice. The verbena is bushing out quite nicely as well. Here's the other color. I was going to get a pink, but I ended up getting a pinky red. And the dipladenias are looking pretty good. So I'll be excited to show you more updates on those ones. Let's go to this basket over here. This calibrachoa is already starting to produce all kinds of blooms. This verbena is just going crazy. And yeah, it's just looking swell, for a lack of better words. It looks swell. This dipladenia is really bushing out. I can't wait for you to see how it's going to look later on in the season. But anyway, I guess this has been a long enough update. Stay tuned, there will be more updates. This will be the update for June. So maybe the beginning of July we'll have another update. Oh yeah, I got a new hole for the putting green. The old one started cracking over winter, so got a new hole. So we'll put the flag in there, and we've got the putter and all the golf balls, so the kids will have a good time back here. Anyway, I guess this is it. I don't know how to end it, but happy growing, everyone. Show me some of your garden. Join the Plants and Things What's Growing page and post photos there. Everybody would love to see what everybody's growing. I certainly do. I don't have enough time to comment on everything, but I do look at all the photos that get posted. I try to comment on whatever I can, but I don't have that much time anymore. As the channel gets bigger, it takes a lot more work, and I still have a full-time job. So anyway, happy growing, everyone, and enjoy the season. Looking around here, I'll show you. Anyway, without further ado, come on in and we'll see what's going on. There's so much to see. I love it. It's beautiful.